percents can be persnickety little buggers. Now, our little subheading of this is equations, which hopefully are starting to become your friends. Equations. Equations, Lilia, mean what? What word do you see in the word equations? Starts with an E-Q-U. Equal. If you see the word equation means it has an equal sign in it somewhere. Okay? Got that? So an equation has to have an equal sign. Here is our problem that we have here. Let's do 20% of what number is 40? Write that down. 20% of what number is 40? Exact question. Now, I can tell you this till I am blue in the face, and nobody will do it. Well, a couple of you will. Before you even do this problem, ladies and gentlemen, you should speculate as to what an answer is. It just helps you in the end to see if you did it right. 20% of what number is 40? And you just pick a random thing. Well, would it be 100? What is 20% of 100? 20. So you know it's got to be bigger than 100 because my answer is 40. So right there I kind of just have a gist in my head. And maybe you could figure out, because 20 was half of what it should have been, what's my answer actually supposed to be? You could actually get the answer from that. It's 40, but that's not, or I mean it's 200 because, forget it. Doesn't matter. Way number one that we've done it so far is we've done a percent box. Let's just look at it that way first, and then we'll move on from there. All right, I am taking 20%, right? So I have 20%, I have 100%, and I have an 80%, right? Is that tough? Because everything adds up to 100% right now. We don't know. We don't know what we're cutting into. We don't know if it's, boys and girls and is total, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter to them. The one question we do have to know is, where does the number 40 go? Where does the number 40 go? Is that what 20 is? 20% is? Is that what 80% is? Or is that how much total I have? Is that what 20 is, what 80 is, or 100? Now let me help you out with that if you don't know. 20%, if I got rid of this, 20% is 40. Where do you suppose the 40 goes? Ethan? The total. It is not the total. Let me rephrase that. 20% is 40. Where do you suppose the 40 goes?
40 is?
Yeah, it's what 20% is. 20% is 40. It has to go there. That's what it is. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the total. 20% of what big number is 40? Just like we said, just like Jonah said, well, 100. If it was 20% of 100, I mean, and then this is just a matter of doing this. 20 over 100 equals 40 over what number? Don't get no easier than that. Do it. Brody, what's my answer to this?
200.
Why, Brody? Because 20 times 2 and 100 times 2. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I gave all that to you so that you can see that you don't have to do it this way. Why, you ask?
Right.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, you are becoming equation experts. If I can make this an equation, I can solve it. Okay? Which I can, because in math, we already know this. What does the word of mean?
Multiplication.
And maybe you can make the connection. The word is, what mathematical symbol is the same thing as is? 2 times 8 is 16. The word is the same as the equal sign. You have an equation there. 20% times what number we don't know is 40. This is where you gasp. Now, we went through this before. to solve that for the letter n, what do I have to do? What type of equation is it? It's a multiplication equation. So to solve it, the opposite is division. Now the only problem with this, CJ, is what? The only problem with this is we do not do mathematical operations with percent signs. You either need to make this a fraction or you need to make it a decimal. You are your own boss. It's up to you, whatever you like to do. All right. Me, I'll just say let's make it a decimal. What is 20% as a decimal? 0.2. So what am I going to do? I just divide by 0.2. What is 0.2 into 40? Boom, boom. It's 2 into 400, which is 200. If I would have made it a fraction, it would have been 20 over 100 times what number is 40, which you would say, how do I solve any equation that has a fraction in front of it? I flip and multiply. 100 over 20, 100 over 20. Guess what? 20 cross cancels with 42 times. 2 times 100 is 200. There are lots of times when this writing of equations is just much simpler and quicker and more efficient than doing the whole box thing, although the box thing always seems to sometimes maybe help. Are you ready for another one?
Yeah.
What percent of 50 is 32? What percent of 50 is 32? Question mark. Do you see some key words there? CJ, what would they be? Yes. What percent, I don't know, but I know that times 50 is 32. Now the thing to understand here, ladies and gentlemen, is that my answer needs to be changed into a percent. It's not a percent yet until I fix it, but I need to find an answer and then make it a percent. How am I going to solve this? What type of equation is it?
Multiplication.
What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this. Usually we'd write this the other way and we'd go like this. 50 times what number is 32? You don't have to change it like this, but you're going to divide by 50. Divide by 50. Ladies and gentlemen, there is your answer, except it's not a percent form yet. But by golly, changing 32/50ths into a percent should not be too terribly difficult for you. Why? Why is changing 32 over 50 probably about as easiest thing as you can possibly do to change to a percent? Like kingdom for a horse. Somebody whose hand is not raised, tell me. Why is 32 over 50 one of the easiest things you can change to a percent? Wow. Somebody without their hand raised.
You told me to tell you?
I'm waiting, not for you. I want somebody else. Johnson, what does percent mean? Out of? How hard is it to change this from 32 over 50 into something over 100? 32 over 50 is what number over 100? How do I go from 50 to 100? Multiply by 2, multiply by 2, it's 60. What percent is that? 64%. Do you kind of see that?
Yes.
It's just, and that is why, here's a problem from the book. How much is a 15% tip on $3.25? 15% tip on, what did I say?
$3.
$13.25. Sorry.
Was this 15% tip? Or
Yeah, how much is? How much? Now, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, you can't be spoon-fed your whole life. Okay? you have to do a little bit of cognitive thinking here. How would I say this in equation form? What is 15% of $13.25? That's what you're looking for. Or how much is 15% of $13.25? You want to know what 15% of something is. So how in equation form it would be
15
x equals 15% times 13.25. And again, you should have a reasonable answer in your head. How much tax would you think would be appropriate on $15 or $13? If you get $13 as an answer, don't you think that's a little unreasonable? Would you go to a restaurant and give somebody a $13 tip on a $13 meal? No, it seems a bit excessive. You know, maybe something $5 or less or $4 or less, maybe that would be it. How do I solve this? Now notice, look, the equals, I just need to multiply these two together, but you can't do that with the percent. You either need to make it a fraction or a decimal. Which one would you do? Probably decimal. And that's 0.15, 15%. I would do it, but I'd probably get it wrong. Well, let's do it. 25, 10, 12, 1, 15, 16, 5, 0, 13, 25.
Yes, sir.
Did I do it wrong already?
Yeah, we
7, 8,
it's that one.
What did I do wrong? 25, 2, 15,
It should
10,
be
12, 1.
66.
Yeah, it should be 62.
66. Wow, I didn't get too far into that. I told you I was going to do it wrong. Now I can't even do the adding right. Oh, no, I can. 8, 9, 1. So I get what? 4 decimal places? 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't seem right, does it? 1.987.5. So what is my tip? What would I give as a tip? Most of us would leave $2 if it's awful close, but in reality, it's going to be what, John?
199.
How do you know it's 199 and not 198, John?
You round 7 to
This number.
you round up.
Because it's 5 or bigger, you're going to add 1 to that. $1.99. Why am I doing